All right, so in this video, we're going to get installing this single swivel seat for a Mercedes Sprinter van. As you can see, I've already done a double seat, which there'll be a link up here to watch, but I've been so impressed with the mechanism on this one, I just had to get it for the single seat as well. So from what I understand, this kit comes with a handbrake lowering kit, which is something I'm slightly apprehensive to install, but hopefully the instructions are comprehensive enough to make it simple for an idiot like me. There you go, nicely packaged again. All the important stuff comes in this nice folder. It's really nice, this. Right, so first, we're going to read the instructions cover to cover to see what we're in for. I'm going to assume this makes sense when I get to it, because lowering the handbrake seems like quite a, well, it's an important mechanism in the van, and I feel like screwing it up could be troublesome, and there's only 5 brief points here that are telling me how to lower it. That doesn't seem to match. I feel like it should be like a 20-step process. Right, so first we need to remove the seat, and unlike the double seat, we've got 4 of these star bolt things. This isn't something that's included in most socket sets, but fortunately I bought this other set on a whim the other day, and I think these are going to be right. Oh, lovely. Okay, so for this I needed an E14 Torx bit, I guess. Is this a Torx bit? No, because that'd be a T. I don't know. E14, that's what this is. That little tab needs to be pushed down. Okay, that's quite unbalanced. We'll just pop it down on something soft so it doesn't scratch my lovely paintwork. And unlike the other one, it says to leave the seatbelt attached for this, so no need to faff around with that. Oh, hello. Bit lighter than the double seat. Okay, the instructions state that the swivel seat comes in the correct orientation with the heavy lugs towards the back of the chair and the sticker towards the front. And I'm assuming that'll make sense. These are seriously nice quality. Like seriously, the edges are so nicely rounded, I wouldn't even worry about getting my fingers trapped in the mechanism of this. So those look to be the heavy lugs. So we're gonna go heavy lugs at the back, sticker at the front. Hang on a sec. That's not gonna fit through there, is it? Oh no, do I need to unwire that? Bum. I haven't done any wiring yet. That's not as simple as I thought it would be. Ow. Green is number 2, purple is number 1.
So I figured I'd be coming across these clips quite frequently while converting the van, so I figured it would be worth putting in the investment up front to figure out how to properly disconnect them or what the names of them even are. I wasn't able to find anything at all, so I just had to go for it.
Okay, so to do this, what I somehow managed to do was lift up this tab, which was originally in there. I did that by using a small screwdriver. Not sure that's the best way of doing it. Not sure if it's even necessary, but to get the wires out, what you need to do is get a small pin, preferably one that's not that sharp on the end, and push that into these holes while slightly tugging on the wire below. I'm sort of pinching the wire and then rolling my thumb forward to put pressure on the back of the clip. And what you'll find is they should just clip out. So there you go, there's the first one. I'm just going to push it back in to see how well they clip. Okay, so they clip really nicely back in, so this is definitely the way to do it. Oh, okay, so I passed the first one, and it looks like I need to do it again, which is a reason to lift this up. This is pretty bloody fiddly. All right, green is out. Yes, go through there. There we go. It definitely helps having one seat swiveled already for this. All right, so big old lugs at the back, sticker at the front, wires through the middle. Okay, so now I need to get the other bolts in there. To get access to that, I need to take this top plate off. So we'll carefully remove that. Or I guess, oh yeah, just pivot it. That makes sense. Actually, looking at the instructions, it says loosely insert the 4x countersunk M10 bolts provided. Provided, is that what's in one of those boxes? Okay, well they certainly look like M10 bolts. Ah, I see, yes. Because, right, okay, that looks to be the handbrake lowering plate. Yes, that makes sense. The screws provided are countersunk, as are the holes in the base plate. Ah, yeah, of course, because the plate's not going to be able to slide if there's a massive bolt poking out of it. Idiot. Right, okay, so I've got one bolt here that isn't quite lining up, but fortunately in the package they included this technical update that says if your seat box is out of square, simply slackening or removing the 2 floor fixing bolts will take the tension out of the seat box and allow for easy fitment of the swivel plate. So that looks to be this guy, and This guy, don't worry, that's not blood, it's just a bit of red oxide paint because there was a bit of rust there. Okay, looks to be a 16mm socket required. Give them a little slacken. Oh, blimey, they're tight. Oh, hey, look at that. It pretty much lines up. It's nearly there. That has definitely helped. Let's try and do a bit more. This is where my furniture making skills come in. Just a few small taps from one of the corners should help knock it into square. There we go. And before we forget, let's get this back on. Green number 2. Oh, well, it's much easier going in than it is coming out. Look at me, I did some electrics. I'm actually well proud of that. And for this, looks like we've been provided with 4 Allen head bolts and these nylon lock nuts. So let's take a couple of them with me. So I might as well get this connected while I'm here, and I. Okay, looks to be plenty of slack in that, so I'm not worried about that binding at all. Doesn't feel like it adds that much height in terms of the driver's seat. Can you raise the steering wheel on these anyway? I don't know. But I mean, there's still a fair bit of height between my thighs and the steering wheel, so that's pretty good. Yeah, it's actually kind of nice having the extra couple of inches. Wish I could say that more often. All right, so that was pretty easy. Much easier than doing the double seat here because you haven't got to faff around with this seat belt mechanism and all that. It's just unbolt it, put the plate there, put the plate back on, bolt it. That's all there is to, oh, and the electrical thing, that was a little bit tricky as well. Yeah, I guess it wasn't too bad when I actually did it. But obviously, we can't spin this round until we get the handbrake lowered. So so the first thing I need to do is put the van in gear to stop it rolling when I lower this handbrake. Can't do that because the seat is hitting it at the moment. Let's try. Yeah, this was one thing that needs bedding in with this van. This gearbox is a little bit sticky. Now, we're on leveling ramps at the moment, so we'll see if we roll back. Okay. I think we're good. I don't want to get out. It doesn't feel right. I know that parking in gear is technically safer than a handbrake. Yeah. All right. Okay. Follow the instructions. All right, so the next thing in the instructions says to remove the 2 bolts that attach the handbrake to the chair. I was very concerned that these bolts were going to be in the seat box and I'd have to take the seat off and everything like that. But after pulling on this bit of trim, a bit too hard, I found out they're on here. Point 2 says remove the 2x bolt fastening the handbrake to the seat box leg and place somewhere safe. There's 2 bolts there. They seem to be fastening that to that. I'm assuming that's it. Okay, and then we got this thing, which I'm assuming is the handbrake lowering plate. Comes with 2 countersunk screws in there. Apparently that's got to go on here somewhere. So it says align the countersunk bolt holes in the lowering plate with the 2x holes on the seat box leg and attach using the 2x countersunk M10 bolts provided. Now I'm assuming, yeah, it's got to go on that way, isn't it? With the bolts at the top, then the pivot mechanism moves down. Okay, and then it says push approximately 40mm of the handbrake cable back through the rubber floor grommet. What the hell's that? Okay, well, there's a grommet. 40mm of cable, you say? All right, you just push it. Interestingly, there is this line that was already on the cable, which looks to be about 40mm above the grommet. So I've just peeled back the sort of covering and stuff here, and I'm going to push it through to that bit, I guess. I'll tell you what, it's not easy though. Okay, I think that's enough. It said approximately 40mm. That's about 40, I reckon. Okay, align the handbrake holes with the lower holes on the plate and insert the original bolts into the threaded holes and tighten. That is rather troublesome. How in the world did I get that up there? Like that, I guess. Oh, I see. That's why you need to push it through, because it just makes it hard to line up this second bolt. Okay, I think we're in. And while we're here, we'll just give these a tighten up again after loosening them earlier. Okay, so it says it's not compatible with the rear plastic trim that's fitted on some vehicles. Honestly, this plastic trim doesn't look to be much lower than the actual handbrake itself. Oh, I lied. No, that is a bit lower actually. Okay, I'll either make some sort of leather covering for it later, or maybe just put a face on here and then cover this bit up later. That's something that future Matt can deal with. One thing to remember with these is when you swivel them round, always make sure to swivel it and swivel it back the same way. You don't want to be rotating it clockwise constantly, or else you're going to get the cables underneath all twisted. Okay, well in comparison, the two-seater is much easier to swivel. I've got a feeling there's some trim interfering with this somewhere. Has that seat trim got to come off? So you see, it's this bit of trim here that covers all the sliding mechanisms and stuff. When you turn it, it starts binding on the seat box there. There's also one on the other side which binds if you turn it the other way. There's got to be something that changes that. Ah! I didn't even know you could do that on these. You can raise the seats up. I thought van seats were just fixed, and that's been years of uncomfortable driving to not realise that was there. I feel a bit of a twonk for never realising that before. It's a bit of a squeeze, but definitely be easier with the door open. Yeah, much easier. Okay. Oh, that's going to be handy. Can still use the seat sliding mechanism. But yeah, this sliding mechanism is great because I'm looking at getting a bench in front of me here, so that could actually double up as a footrest now while having a fully adjustable seat. All right, so that is 2 swivel seats installed. Very, very happy with the mechanism, so much better than expected. I reckon in terms of difficulty, they were both as easy or as difficult to install as each other. The double seat, messing around with the seatbelt mechanism was a little bit tricky. This one, having to mess around with the handbrake, a little bit tricky, but overall, it's nothing that an idiot like me can't manage, so very happy with that. So yeah, if you're doing a van conversion yourself, I'd definitely recommend looking into these. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to press the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.